No fancy intro today, let's just get into it. The first video game I remember playing during my childhood was the Spyro the Dragon demo. I remember that my dad came home from work one day and surprised me with it. And looking back at what that demo contained, it was just the first few levels. But as a child, it was a gateway to another world. I remember playing it over and over again, constantly working to free the dragons that were trapped in crystal, but always being denied the full adventure from the ever-present limitations of the demo. I actually bought the demo disc off eBay. Let me try to get a decent thing right there. Not for sale. Still bought it. But one day, my dad came home from work. He held the CD case in his hands, and he gave it to me very gently, and when I looked down at it, I saw the ever familiar, adorable purple dragon named Spyro, with the words, Spyro the Dragon. Before we get too far into this, I just want to bring up a couple things. This is a storytime video, if you didn't get that from the first paragraph. And I'm going to be reading it off of a script so I don't ramble too much, so, it keeps me on track. Anyway, continuing. As a kid, you take for granted the gifts you're given, but more importantly, you take for granted the sacrifices required for that gift to be given. My family was never rich, and calling us middle class at the time would be a stretch. But my parents worked hard to give us a roof over our head, foods in our belly, and some of the nicer things in life. The most expensive things in our home were our 2 computers my dad built, the PlayStation, and our TV. And the TVs were in our living room, which was connected to the kitchen in typical mobile home fashion. And this living room is where I developed my love, my passion for video games. I played the hell out of Spyro, hours a day, without fail, and I never even beat it back then. I don't think I got past the second home world, as a matter of fact, but I did branch out to other games. I played Spyro 2, Spyro Year of the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, Tarzan, Rayman, Tekken 3. These were all games that I grew up playing until our PlayStation finally burned out. Throughout the years, I, like many people, went on to play games up till today, but there was always one constant series that I go back to, that constantly brings me back to the simpler days, back before I had even started school. And of course, it was Spyro. It's one of the best memories I have of my dad before he passed away in 2003, and gaming seems to be one way that I keep my father with me all this time. And up until the Reignited trilogy, I never beat the first Spyro game. Throughout the years, I would just stop before Nasty Nork and go back to the Artisan world. It was my way of keeping the memory alive, of keeping my dad alive in a way. And today, as I stood at the new HG entrance of the final confrontation of Nasty Nork in the Reignited trilogy, I put my controller down and just remembered all the memories of playing this game as a kid. And after some time, I finally picked up my controller and finished what I started 20 years ago. Spyro the Dragon will always be the game that brings me back to my childhood, back to when I first started gaming, and it will always have a special place in my heart and on my shelf. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little story time video, cheap and corny and that it may be. If you like the video, leave a like, please subscribe if you haven't, I'd really appreciate it, and until next time, guys, just have a great day.